Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend RJ City, and today I will be unboxing. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Dun 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 dun. I love Lucy trading cards. I love Lucy TV trading cards. There's 10 cards in here. They're certainly not wasting too much money on other ink colors. And this is from 1991. So this isn't even that old. It just looks bad. 1991, and this is what we're doing? This is what it looks like. It's this feels like it's from 1962. What are we doing? 1991, CBS. This was probably when they were like colorizing Lucy and like really giving her a second run. And they had those box sets. And oh, you heard of this? They would do like documentaries on the Vegemeta vitamin sketch or the chocolate. You ever see the chocolate when it goes so fast and they have to eat it all? Are you familiar with that scene from I Love Lucy? It's like, you would only know there's like two. Oh, and the grape one. Who can forget the grape squishing one? That was a riot. But they would have like televised think pieces on them. And what they meant, I guess, for the wine industry or something. Anyway, here we go. This deluxe card set gives you the entire 110 card series. I mean, not in here. Housed in a special collector's box, you get a full mint set of the original first printing, a true collector's item. Sure. Limited quantities available to order by mail, send check or money order, and $10.95. It's really not that expensive. I mean, how much could these cards have been? Where are we sending this to? Illinois? Linwood, Washington. Please print clearly. Offer Goodwill supplies last only. New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan, California, and Washington residents at appropriate sales tax. Offer good in the USA only, which is why I never got them. This is very waxy, but I'm excited about it. Oh, this is a keeper. This is one I'm putting in my wallet. Fred and Ethel Mertz. Look at them. They were probably like 22 here. Of course, the wonderful Vivian Vance, who Lucy always kept. Always said, I need her. I need Viv. Oh, look at this. We have a little book on the back here. Maybe they saved a lot of money with these being in black and white. During the run of the series, there were persistent rumors, mostly inside the industry, that the actors who played the parts of Fred and Ethel Mertz, William Frawley and Vivian Vance, did not get along. Nevertheless, their apparent aversion to each other off camera never once jeopardized the purity of their roles. Yeah, especially when most of the time Fred and Ethel didn't like each other anyway. Nominated for numerous Emmys. Frawley and Vance will remain forever Fred and Ethel, which sounds like a kind of a doomsday scenario. They also did a couple, I think there was an I Love Lucy, like a movie thing, but anyway, there they are, kids peeking over the couch, having a good time. Let's see the next card. Ricky is a big stinker. Maybe this is, I don't know if they were, these cards are so glossy. Can we get a good, this says it in Spanish. Fred and Ethel are holding the sign. There we go. Ricky est un gran stinkeroo, which I guess is colloquial Spanish. And he's about to kiss his lady. Let's see what this is all about. When Lucy learns that Ricky is going on a European tour with the band, she naturally assumes she's going along. This is from the episode Ricky's European Booking, in case you're wondering what it was about. Ricky says no. So with the help of Fred and Ethel, Lucy wages her own campaign to get her husband to change his mind. Ricky agrees she can go if she can raise the money to pay her own expenses. And it's comma SPENCES. Quiz. Name the phony charity Lucy and Ethel form. Ladies Overseas Aid. Shades of the Human Fund. Kind of a precursor there, in a sense. They were always up to something and had a lot of time and unlimited resources to make these plots work. Oh, here's Lucy. Now, here we go. It's called Daydreaming. And boy, did she ever. Dreaming of, firing Madeline Kahn from the set of MAME, maybe. There she is. Let's see what it says. Lucy spent much of her time dreaming of wealth and fame. She once envisioned herself running barefoot through a sea of pennies. I don't think that's really the pinnacle of wealth and fame. I think that's gross and painful. A high risk of contracting something. She also saw herself as a singer, actress, dancer, monologist, star, bit player, extra, and mistress of ceremonies. People forget the female equivalent of master of ceremonies is mistress of ceremonies, which does not sound right. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, there's hosting my wedding. Here's a good Lucy face, and here's a good Ricky face. Foiled again. Ricky has caught her, as you can see. There we go. He's very happy. He's figured out her plan, and she is very upset. There were code words for Lucy's familiar mugs. There was the credentials look, where Lucy's mouth would drop open as if to say, how dare you? Then there was puddling up, when Lucy would be about to cry, and light bulb, when she had a brainstorm. And then there was the most familiar of all, the spider look, pictured here. It was created during Lucy's radio days, when she was doing a takeoff on Little Miss Muffet. And, you know, this is the level of professionalism to make this face, to invent it on the radio. Whoa. Made to order. What's going? Oh, there's a maid, and Ricky is not fond of her work or something. He is very angry. Always really, and no point is like Ricky not wearing dress pants. I can't get this one to. Let me see. Little better, worse, the same, whatever. To help Lucy out with the new baby, Ricky agrees to hire a maid. When the woman arrives, she immediately takes over, spewing her list of do's and don'ts, much to Lucy's frustration. To make matters worse, the maid eats the Ricardos out of house and home. If I didn't have a salad, I'd had starved to death, which this is now my favorite woman. It sounds like I wrote this character. Intimidated by her, Lucy tries to get Ricky to fire her. That must have been a fun episode I have zero recollection of. Best dressed friends. Oh, these guys, the wacky husbands are dressing up. And Ricky has an apron on, maybe? And Fred has, I don't know, football jersey? Let's find out. Lucy and Ethel are disgusted with their husbands who insist on wearing their shabbiest clothes in public. How dare they? In an attempt to break them out of their habit, the girls gather the boys' old duds and sell them in an episode entitled Changing the Boys' Wardrobes. They could have used a little work in the titling department. Ricky and Fred soon learn of the girls' schemes and buy back their ancient apparel, much to the wives' dismay. Here's a quiz that will rack your brain. Whom did Ricky designate as his fashion consultant? And the answer is Fred. He's the only other guy that he's really friends with. One of really 4 characters in this entire show. The feuding foursome. I always loved these when the couples would fight. And of course, they were the landlords. I guess Ricky and Lucy were renting. Let's see if we can get the feud. I'm trying my best here to bring this into focus. They are feuding. Fred has a cowboy hat on. There we go. The feuding. Fred has a cowboy hat on. No explanation, but Ricky is looking very sporty. Let's find out why. Despite their close friendship, the Ricardos and Mertzes had their share of squabbles, fights, beefs, disputes, spats, scraps, rows, fallouts, and tiffs. Somebody got a thesaurus. In other words, on occasion, they were not on friendly terms. Like this time when some shares of stock in an oil well, this episode is entitled Oil Wells, caused an almost irreparable chasm in their 13-year friendship. That's why he was wearing that hat, because he's an oil baron now. Big Tex, Fred Mertz. And this is them at Sardi's. Oh, they are starstruck. And this is one of those classic, New York-y places. They put celebrities on the walls. Little caricatures there. And Lucy is taking a picture of Ethel. Maybe she thought she was Vivian Vance. Upon their arrival in they're in Hollywood. Upon their arrival in Hollywood, Lucy and the Mertzes go in search of movie stars in the episode entitled LA at Last. They end up at the watering hole of the celebrated Brown Derby. There, Lucy encounters her dream man, William Holden, who turns the tables on Mrs. Ricardo and makes her the uncomfortable celebrity. His scheme backfires, and he winds up wearing his lunch. Poor William Holden. Backstage, the dessert... Oh, this is a backstage factoid. The dessert that was dumped on Holden was actually a pie filled with applesauce, which you would never be able to tell in black and white. Really colors it in for you. Oh, and this may be my favorite caption. Tally ho. Tally ho indeed. Are they going? They're off to the races. They bought a horse or something. Maybe Ricky has become a jockey. Don't they look like quite the pair? Lucy claims that her fondest dream is to spend a weekend on an English country estate in an episode entitled The Fox Hunt. Her wish soon comes true when she, Ricky, Fred, and Ethel are invited to Berkshire Manor by English cinema producer Sir Clive Richardson, which sounds British. Lucy's dream soon is turned into a nightmare when she joins a fox hunt. Jesus. Name Lucy's horse. Can any of you name Lucy's horse? I have the answer. I have the answer right here. Do any of you know what it is? I'll give you 3, 2, 1. Danny Boy. Who can forget Lucy's horse, Danny Boy? Oh, I don't remember this one. This is entitled Super Lucy. And she's got they've swiped the Superman logo, and she's now on the side of a tall building with a bucket on her head, which is odd because Superman never really wore any headgear. I mean, Clark had the hat, but there's pigeons, and she is not comfortable at all. Let me get this. Give me a minute. Better. Focus. I want everyone to appreciate. There we go. Super Lucy. We've lost it. Fuck. Well, you get the gist. It's little Ricky's 5th birthday, and Lucy is planning a party. But to compete with Steve Appleby's birthday soiree, which is planned for the same Saturday, asshole, Lucy promises to deliver Superman in the episode entitled Lucy and Superman. You can probably figure that out yourself. When actor George Reeves cannot oblige because he's tired, he doesn't do birthdays. Lucy tries to save her name from being Super Mud by dressing like the comic book hero. Superman does show up to save the day. And Lucy too. I guess George Reeves felt really bad. This says a lot more about George Reeves than it does anyone else. Well, those were the I Love Lucy TV trading cards, and I hope you learned a lot about the Mertzes and the Ricardos, and most of all, George Reeves.